here to make this happen.
Okay.
Whether it will or not. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is Nikki Gordon Bloomfield here and Kate Walton Elliott.
Hi.
For those who have seen what Kate's been up to in the on the Transport Evolved channel of late, she's just come down to visit for the day, really.
Yeah.
With her other half, and so I said, "Hey, do you want to take the Bolt EV out for a quick spin?" So she's never driven the Bolt EV before. What do you think, mate?
I think it's a really nice car, actually. It's got enough poke to be quite fun, particularly for a small, family car. You can do entertaining things, but there's people in front of me, which means I can't
Just keep going straight up. We might as well.
I can't ever repay you for the delightful drive we had in that Tesla, where you flattened me against the seat several times. But this has enough that you can have a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I know it's a Sunday. Hello. This is just proof that we are sometimes in the same place.
Yeah, I am not married to her.
No,
I could not
deal with that either.
God no.
We are best friends. We've known each other.
Oh well, I'm only 21, so maybe
21 again.
Twice 21.
21
but,
several times over.
Yeah.
And so, did she just say I have a lead foot? I do sometimes. Was that the Roadster?
No, that was the
Model S.
P90.
Oh, that's right. You were filming, and you swore.
P85D. Yes,
you did swear.
Demonstrating how fast it accelerated, as I recall, which is quite fast.
This is pretty fast too. I mean,
I know, but I can't have fun because there are people right in front of me. I mean,
yeah,
and this is 40 limit. So
it is a 40 limit. So why don't you turn right here, and you can go right and then around, and then you can pick back up that circle, and then you can do the other circle. Okay. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have no clue. You're like, turn right here. I'm like, I could be driving to the pit of hell. And absolutely.
We are just, it's 45 along here. Woo, there you go. Did you feel that torque steer there?
Ooh,
There's a lot of torque steer.
It does.
And I've nearly crashed it a couple of times. The Bolt does have a lot of...
that actually, you need a bit more...
So this is, for those who are watching, this is the wonderful Kate Walton Elliott. She is my buddy. We've been friends for God knows how many years, way too many. We met through the wonderful world of Morris Minors. She still has her Morris Minor.
Yes.
And is converting it to electric one day.
Yeah.
I no longer have my Morris Minors, either of them. But Kate and her partner, Catherine, came down for the day from Olympia, where they live, and we went down to Salem. You can take a pick. I know the area. I can get you back to the house. We've only
got 232 miles of range. I mean,
232 miles of range.
I'm not sure we can possibly make it back. I mean,
So a lot of people have gone, "Oh, Kate's really wooden. We don't like Kate." They don't like you, mate.
It's true, and you've put a new fresh coat of Cuprinol on me, and now I'm good to go for another year.
So we thought we'd make this video. Yeah. For those who don't know, Kate has agreed to come to CES with me.
Yes.
You nutter.
Because I heard it's really peaceful, relaxing, very enjoyable, soothing time.
Yeah.
That's what you said, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So just keep going straight up here, and as long as you don't give me a speeding ticket, I really don't mind. So we're doing, they're green. They're fine.
Is that what that colour means? Go!
It means go!
Oh. They didn't cover that in my driving test.
So, the American driving test is shockingly bad. If you've ever learnt to drive in the UK and you move to America, be prepared for a joke.
Well, I'm really glad because I drove appallingly that day and it was snowing.
Yes.
So the fact that it was really easy to pass the test was really quite handy because I would never have passed my test in England driving like that, and I probably only had one hand on the steering wheel most of the time.
There you go. So I know that this connection's not going to be great, and we're doing a live stream, and people say live streams are rubbish. Don't do live streams.
Okay.
But I thought I would do a live stream with you because just to illustrate that you exist and that you are a fun person.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, I'm not. I'm
the
very
sarcasm,
serious.
very sarcastic.
Serious.
Where is Kate from originally?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
The UK?
Yes,
question
I am
mark.
from the UK.
She is British.
And there's no stop sign
But
here.
as you might know, she is not Caucasian.
Oh my God, no!
Did
I'm
you not
white.
realise?
I did. Jesus Christ, when did that happen?
It's just like, she's not white. But she is. She's British.
And I'm in Oregon. Just be careful right now.
Yes, exactly. Go straight over here, but obviously not when the lights are red.
Just saying. but we could. But there was that guy, the American representative or congressperson back in the 40s, who said you should drive through as fast as possible because then everyone would miss each other.
I did not know about that.
Yeah, he wanted to set like a minimum limit of 40 or 50 for intersections.
Crazy. A crazy
so
person.
Is that not true?
I don't know. It's green. You can floor it. Oh, this is not in sport mode either. Hang on.
Oh, is there? Yeah.
Now, if you slow down a second, then it's safe.
I actually just realised out of the mirror.
It's safe. Now, if you gently floor it.
Gently floor it.
Or squeeze it, maybe, a little.
Squeeze it.
Just squeeze one off.
Give it a bean?
Give it a bean.
One bean.
I can't read any of these comments because it's just so funny. Lol, you two were making me chuckle. Hello, up north. Greetings from Holland, ladies.
Oh, Holland's really nice.
Hello, I can't
Holland.
speak Dutch.
No. Jij snakker Norsk? A little bit.
Yes, a little bit.
And that is terrible pronunciation. I'm sorry to anyone in Norway.
Alright, so follow this round and then you're going to turn right. You're now in sport mode though.
Okay, so the torque steer is probably going to be worse.
The torque steer is going to be worse, and mind especially if you go over that debris. But now if you open it up.
Actually, it's better.
That's 160 kilowatts right there.
Yeah.
That's 160 kilowatts, which is pretty good.
That's interesting because I didn't get that same torque steer from
So for those who are interested, can we see the dash? We can see the dash. This is the dash of the. This is our first time together in a Chevy Bolt. This is my Chevy Bolt.
Pardon, Nikki. What was that? I didn't quite catch that. Did you say, "Oh sugar"?
I may have said "oh sugar." So
when do we get a Tesla again?
Oh, I don't know. Why is there a sale on the gun shop? That's sad. Okay. I didn't even know there was one there. Yeah. So you can go around the full time this time and then come back and it'll be fine. So very peppy car. Found the acceleration more than enough. Torque steer is so 1972. I totally agree. Torque steer on the Bolt EV is terrible. It's my one big criticism of the car, and having owned it now for 2 months, this is what I find. Now if you press that button, and it will slow you down without even touching the brake pedal. It takes some getting used to.
And let me stop.
You have to learn how to time it.
Yeah, I think.
But I barely use the brake anymore.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, I went out in my wife's. The Bolt's not going to come to the UK. I went somewhere in my wife's Nissan Leaf. There's a Tesla Model X. Look, there you go. Tesla Model X. There, they would beat us. No, they would beat us. Also, I don't want to have a ticket, or you to have a ticket, or anything. So my wife has a Nissan Leaf, and I took that out the other day, and I was with a friend, and I went to give it some beans, and nothing happened. So there we go. Or the Opel equivalent. No Opel equivalent. Anyway, Kate is joining the Transport Evolved team. You've done a couple of videos.
I have.
You're going to be doing one on passenger drones.
Yes, I am.
Which is very exciting.
I'm really hoping that someone might give me one to test ride. Because
that would be awesome.
I'm happy to test ride a passenger drone. Okay, folks? If anyone here is working on them, I'm good with that. Yes. And you came down in your... What? The Honda Insight.
2000.
The EV grin is actually just the pain of the other person. It's like Schadenfreude kind of the torment that you give someone else. That's what gives you the EV grin. Yeah, we have a 2006 Honda Insight, which is fine,
a pretty good
hybrid.
car.
Yeah. It's been solid.
So take a right here and we'll head back to mine.
It is now not, because for anyone who doesn't know the Honda Insight, it's only got 2 seats, which is not quite enough.
And
for
it's
us.
for sale, isn't it?
It is for sale. If
you should
anyone
buy it.
Wants one, then ours is a fine example.
So people are telling us, okay, a lot of people criticise me for not having a Tesla.
Yeah.
I can't afford a Tesla.
No.
I mean, I had to stretch to be able to afford the Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
And this is only because I've got it on lease. You're in the market for a new EV.
You are not a new EV, an EV.
An EV, and you're not going to buy a Tesla. Why not, Kate?
Why not?
You're such a letdown.
I am a letdown. I am a real letdown. The reason I'm not buying a Tesla is that I hate them.
No, that's not true.
No.
You're a nurse. You don't have a lot of money.
I'm a nurse and I do not have that much money. I mean, we could buy a Tesla, but then I would also have to put a washing machine and a tumble dryer in the Tesla. And possibly one of those little pop-up camper roofs so that we'd have enough room for the bed.
Which would not be very popular in a Model S.
No, it would not. It would be on the X, though. You could get like a
little... But then the Vulcan wing doors would lift up every time.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't really considered that. But yeah, that's why, because, I can pick up a used, probably like an i3 Rex or something like that, which will... There's a whole long debate about this, which if people want to know, I can do like a video about it.
But, I mean,
but I need a car with more range than I can get on a pure electric in my price range. So then something like the Rex becomes feasible.
So you're looking at a BMW i3 Rex. You've seen a couple for sale. Unfortunately, they always seem to sell just before you get to them.
Yeah, well, I don't move very quickly. So,
and you must have CCS quick charging. So
yeah.
to point out here, this is not the idea of you having a Rex because Kate doesn't think that electric vehicles are any good. Because you've owned... This would be your 3rd electric vehicle, wouldn't it? 4th. 4 electric vehicles.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't...
Mind that curb, because it's really... It juts out a long way.
So, I would happily buy an all-electric vehicle, and the ones on the market now have quite enough range for me. Well, no, I like the Bolt. Hands down, I would go with the Bolt. But the problem is that we live up in sort of central, like West Coast, but central Washington, and there are no chargers in the areas we like to go camping.
And that's a Bolt. She said Bolt, not Volt.
Yeah.
So this car, she would buy this car if she could. There is the Honda just sitting there. That's going to get exchanged for
probably a
BMW i3 Rex. And you've also got a 2002 Toyota RAV4 EV, so the other Toyota RAV4 EV that exists in the fleet. You might as well park it up backwards because it's got a camera. So the high end, the Premier version, this is the LT. This is the cheap person's Bolt, and it's got the convenience package. So it's got the heated front seats and the heated steering wheel because I like those. But it doesn't have any other kind of extra packages, I don't think.
Yeah.
And
you've got the
and the other car, the Premier version has an all-round monitor like the Leaf. This car has an all-round monitor, and that great big, huge station wagon that we just drove all the way to.
Yeah. Are you allowed to say what it is yet?
Yes, the Chrysler Pacifica hybrid. And people wondering why it's called a hybrid rather than a plug-in hybrid. The answer is that it's a hybrid because Chrysler doesn't give you any choice as to when the engine is operating and when the electric motor is operating. You'd be driving around town with 70% state of charge at 5 miles an hour, and then suddenly the car says, I think I'm going to run the engine now.
Yeah.
Which is just a bit bizarre, really.
A bit odd.
So there we go. I don't know if we jumped in and out of reception, but it's working here.
Yeah.
So let's just stay here for a second. So you have owned a G-Wiz.
Yes, I'd forgotten about the G-Wiz because I only got to drive it once.
That's right. Okay, so actually this will be your 5th electric car.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about the G-Wiz.
So did you want to tell people about your special car that you owned?
So, the Enfield?
The Enfield.
The Enfield. I had an Enfield Electric 8000, and that was... It was actually... It wasn't really mine. It was my mum's.
As was the G-Wiz.
As was the G-Wiz, both of which were terrible investments on my part for my mother.
What do you mean? I gave you the G-Wiz, didn't I?
Yeah, and we put new batteries in it.
Oh, right, okay.
And it promptly
The G-Wiz
killed...
was given to me, and then I gave it to her, so you're welcome.
Yes, that was a fantastic job. So
I'm a grateful friend.
We together, we put new batteries in it.
We did.
Yes.
And then we decided to drive it, and that was the problem. We drove it from Slough.
Yes, we drove it from Slough, where I lived at the time, to my mother's house, which was in Eastbury.
That's probably what killed it.
A tiny little village, and it all went perfectly until we got to this wine bar. It was a wine bar.
No, it was a pub.
It had pub signs, and it was in a pub building, but it was a wine bar.
With delusions of grandeur.
And they couldn't let us plug in because the electrics were too weak. So we...
And we had previously found that it was on a database for charging.
Yeah, so we pulled up and we had, like, enough range that we possibly could make it to my mother's house. Turns out we didn't.
And that's, I think, probably what killed it.
Yeah.
Because they were brand new batteries and they died.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you had a G-Wiz.
And then we had the Enfield 8000.
The Enfield was before that. The Enfield has a very special life now.
Oh yeah, the Enfield is now the flux capacitor, which is like the fastest
the world's fastest street legal electric dragster.
Yeah, and it was exactly like that when I had it. Absolutely. I mean, Johnny he just polished it a little bit.
He cleaned it.
Yeah, cleaned it.
Put some fancy wheels on.
Yeah. It was I mean, barely touched a thing. I mean, he might have changed the motor.
I think he might have changed the original 4-kilowatt motor.
Yeah, he might have done.
And put 2 in.
And I think he took out the lead-acid batteries for some reason. The
Coke
mix...
out of Korean helicopters.
Yeah, yep. Slightly different. But, you know... yeah, so
that was a really good car.
That actually would have been a great car if my mother's house hadn't been flooded and it hadn't swum in 3 foot of water and then sat.
We drove it twice, I think.
Yeah.
You and I drove it twice.
Yeah, and it was actually, I mean, it was a car of its time.
But I remember that night, actually, when we lived in Bristol, you lived in Slough, I lived in Bristol. For those who don't know, that's about 70 miles apart.
Yeah.
And your mum lived kind of in the middle, really.
Yeah.
And so I got a phone call from you going, lots of expletives, help. And we went, what's on my neck is a bandana. We went... See, it's a bandana. I made it. Don't diss the bandana. It's got glow-in-the-dark cat eyes on it.
Which is really good because it is kind of nearly Halloween.
It is nearly Halloween. It's Halloween themed.
Yeah.
It's from my fursuiting. Anyway, you called me and said, come help.
Yeah.
I had a Toyota Prius at the time.
Yeah.
And I waded through impossible amounts of water to bring you a generator, if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
To try and then by the time we arrived, it was all, you didn't need it.
Yeah, no, it came up and it went down.
And the car was horrible. There are some photos online of the car. It was a horrible sight.
It was really distressing.
The insurance company tried to write it off.
Yep.
And then you said, no.
Yeah, I said no. It's worth more than that. They wanted to give us like $1,000 for this $8,000 car. And we got it back. And you didn't have anywhere to put it. Yes, it lived
so
on the
after
driveway.
Convincing my wife that it would be a good idea, we kept it on my driveway, I think, in the UK.
Yeah. Thinking
about it. My wife really loves me.
She does put up with a lot.
Because she put up, I think for a time we had 3 broken electric cars on the driveway.
You had the dead Golf, you had the dead...
We had a bus. We had a dead electric bus on the driveway. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was a dead electric bus.
This is why I'm not married to her.
This is why we're friends.
We would end up with all of the cars. You would not have any cars because we would have them all and they would all be broken.
The problem is we joke that we're evil twins.
Yeah.
You are my senior by a little bit.
Yeah, by like 10 minutes.
By 10 minutes. we grew up well, we've got very similar shared stories.
Yeah.
We're both children of immigrants.
Yeah.
My mum was a British subject. Your mum was a British subject. My mum's Canadian. Your mum's Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
So, and we both had British dads, and we lived in different parts of the country, but our story growing up is very similar.
Yeah.
And so I think when we met, we would have been in our late teens, early 20s, and from that point onwards, bad things happened.
Yeah. Really, that basically
we nearly had a TV show together.
We did. We were nearly
Life
famous.
in the Old Gal.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day when we went round and we seeded the junkyard with all the parts from our own garage to film a show teaching people how to find parts in a junkyard?
Yeah.
It should have been called.
It's really much easier if you put the parts in the junkyard so that you can then go, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need. Yeah.
And it's just the right model year for my car as well.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
And do you remember when we replaced the wing and we were running out of light, so the production company said, just put it on and stand there. And we hung the wing on. Yeah. And we had to just stand there and pretend that the wing was actually bolted on and finished.
Yep.
And we had to I think you had to slap the wing.
Yes.
And you had to slap the wing convincingly enough to make it look like it was on.
But gently enough that it didn't fall off. Because that would have been bad.
Oh, that was funny. So Kate's got a background in EVs, despite what some of you may think. You've not seen much or heard much of her. She lives up in Olympia, which is where you're heading in 1 minute time. You told me you were leaving at 4.
Yeah, we're leaving at 4, so yeah.
It's like 1 minute.
Yeah.
So your wife is going to be killing me too, because you haven't had a chance to speak to anyone in the family, but at least my dog hasn't attacked you with love.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Which is true.
Pepper's going to be very sad.
So, Kate's joining the team. She's on the team. Today's hangout has been fun. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be back later on in the week. I'm going to hospital tomorrow, so there probably won't be a video tomorrow. And the review for the big thing that's out here is over there. Hang on, let me see if we can. I'll take you out of the car with. I don't know, where's my bag? Oh, it's in the back seat. That's funny technology. So the car having 4 seats, it's crazy.
How can you be shocked by having 4 seats?
Yeah. In my head, this is a little sports car because it's got 200 horsepower and bucket loads of torque, which is just, So what I'm reviewing at the moment, what I took everybody. It's funny because these two came down from Olympia and they were like, we'll go out for breakfast, for brunch, right? And I don't think you'd really understood that I wanted to take you somewhere a long way away.
Well, I'd kind of
so that I could test this thing out, which is sitting on a neighbour's driveway. It's the Chrysler Pacifica hybrid minivan. It's got a 6.6 kilowatt hour battery pack in it. You can only buy it in the United States. It is massive to the point that... do I have my keys? I'm going to do the party trick. So it is massive. So this is where you plug in. There will be a review coming. Fit and finish though, look at that. That doesn't actually open all the way because it fouls. You'd expect it to kind of go further than that. You want it to go to sort of there, but it doesn't want to. You have to kind of... So, it's got all of the bells and whistles. This is a $47,000 car. It's a soccer mum's dream car. It's probably it's probably a nightmare car for me. It's got 7 rows of seats. These seats fold completely flat into the floor. You can remove these seats so you can get a lot of luggage in here. I'm supposed to be doing a review of this this week, but because I'm going into the hospital tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of driving or anything. So this is what it looks like. It's got a massive... Don't even know if this will work. No, it's got a massive sunroof that goes all the way to the back, and then another sunroof at the back. This is a Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid minivan. I don't think I can show you the tailgate. The tailgate is an automatic one as well. Maybe it will work. Let's see. There you go. I did time that very well. So these seats fold completely flat into the floor. So let me show you that quickly. I can do this. And I'm not very impressed with this, it must be said. And I know I'll have lots of people moaning at me going, "Oh, why are you test driving a gas guzzler?" Well, the honest answer is, I'm test driving a gas guzzler because not everybody can afford a Tesla. Not everybody wants a fully electric model, and I would much rather somebody that would, who would choose this vehicle as their next vehicle. If they're driving a massive minivan and they're currently driving a minivan with, I don't know, that gets say 5 or 10 or 20 miles to the gallon, would choose this. It's only got a 30-mile electric range before its V6 engine kicks in, which is not great. But, it was sitting at 40, 50 miles per gallon on the freeway, which for a car that is massive, so massive it won't fit in my garage, it is great. It is great, great, great. So, well, that's kind of the other thing, how far does the soccer mums drive? Not very far is the answer. No. Did I lock it?
No, I think you just left it.
I think I just left it. I shouldn't do that. There you go. I think it's locked now. I'm not going to touch it.
Just leave it on faith, it's fine.
And I don't think I would personally drive it. I don't like that car, so I'm going to have a really tough time reviewing it. So there we go. The other thing I wanted to show people very quickly before I go is the tow hitch that we have on the back of this. So this is the tow hitch on the back of the Bolt. It is a 1 1/4 inch jack. You can put a bicycle carrier on there. This is an aftermarket thing that you can get put on the Bolt. I actually had this put on by the Chevy dealer, and so I'll be doing a review. I've got to put a luggage rack on here because I'm going to a convention in a couple of weeks, and there's going to be lots of these guys in the car, so I don't have space for other things. But that really is it. Thank you for joining me. Say goodbye, Kate.
Bye-bye, Kate.
Yes, bye-bye, everyone. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.